Michigan has lost 4 straight in Iowa City. Only one of those teams was a Jim Harbaugh coach team. That was back in 2016 when number 2 Michigan went to Iowa and lost 14-13. That 2016 team averaged 48 points a game going into that contest. This Michigan team is averaging 50. Iowa has won 5 of its last 6 against top 5 opponents at Kinnick. However, you and I and everyone else remembers the last time Michigan faced Iowa, it was in the Big Ten championship game last year, and they decimated them 42-3. How do you see this game going for Michigan and Iowa?
So I don't expect Michigan to win 42-3, but I do expect Michigan to win the game. I think it'll be low scoring. I think it'll be kind of an ugly game to watch. I wish Iowa did it at night. That would make the game better, but it is noon, which I think helps Michigan. There's not some of that spooky atmosphere that you get when you go just on the road, in conference at night against a fan base that's had all day to drink, and now they're all riled up. And one 3-and-out series, and the crowd just is going bonkers. I still expect the atmosphere to be loud and to be live, and if Iowa's going to play with a chip on their shoulder because what happened in the Big Ten title game, more power to them. But with what we saw from Michigan last week and the kind of the issues that they had with Maryland, you look at the game and Michigan, it's a Maryland defense that, again, it isn't very good, but Michigan only managed to score, they scored 34 points on them, and I expect they'll score less, right, on Iowa, and Iowa certainly not getting to 34 points. So from Michigan, I don't know that they'll have so much concerns in losing the game. I think it will be ugly, but I just don't think Iowa's offense will be able to match Michigan's. Michigan's offense might be a little bit, sputter because Iowa's defense is pretty good, but Michigan's got a pretty good defense in their own right, one that I definitely don't think Iowa's going to be able to take advantage of. So even if Michigan wins by double digits, I don't think it'll be a pleasing game to watch, but I don't think Michigan should have so much trouble with Iowa.
Yeah, so both these units, Michigan and Iowa, defensively, they're in the top 10 in total defense and their defensive success rates. Michigan ranks 99th in plays per game and 105th in second per play, while Iowa is 127th in plays per game and 111th in seconds per play. So it's like you said, it's going to be a slower, more methodical kind of game. But, I agree with you. The defenses, while they're great, Iowa offensively is just abysmal. The passing game, they haven't cleared 175 yards in passing yet so far this year. And with Michigan's defense being, somewhat decent, I understand their pass rush hasn't been what they were hoping it would be, losing all the players that they lost from last year's team. Iowa doesn't have much of a passing game, period. And so it just seems like it's going to be one-dimensional for them, and Michigan can really kind of pin their ears back and get ready to stop the run because they know the passing game is not that dangerous. And it just seems to play into Michigan's favor that despite all the numbers are showing how slow and methodical, we're talking about a Michigan team that's averaging 50 points a game. Are they going to hit that in this game? No, I don't believe that. I think that'd be crazy. But it's not nighttime, like you said. And that would have made this a lot more difficult. It's daytime. The people haven't had nearly as much time to drink and go crazy before the game. They're going to have to be getting up at about 6 o'clock in the morning to start drinking to get to that ruckus level that Iowa would want them to be to have their backs. It's just, and you're talking about like a battle on the ground between these two teams with Iowa allowing, 5.8 points per game and a total of 235 yards period per game, and you look at a Michigan team that's averaging 235 yards on the ground. So, and Blake Corum at 120 by himself. It seems like everything is leaning towards Michigan. And last year, again, it was the Big Ten championship. It wasn't in Iowa, but Michigan ran over 6 yards per carry for over 200 yards against this Iowa defense. It just seems like Michigan is going to have too much offensively for the Hawkeyes to really stay in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think the defenses will both probably play pretty well. The thing that Iowa would hope for, and if you're an Iowa fan, like how Iowa's going to win, is if J.J. McCarthy is loose with the ball. Now, if you don't have an offense that's necessarily going to be able to take advantage of that and, score if J.J. McCarthy ends up being loose with the football. So I guess you just hope that it's within, like, your own red zone or something. But, Michigan, obviously they have to protect the ball, but if they do, like you said, I think it should be, again, not an easy game, but like an easy win, if that makes sense, right? I think Michigan will still probably struggle to score more so than they have. If they don't reach like 26 points, I wouldn't be so surprised. You know what I mean? If they won the game 25-7 or something. But like with Iowa, they just their offense isn't anywhere near where it needs to be, and I don't see how they are going to score on Michigan. Their defense already or still has more points than what their offense does. As my cat makes a solar eclipse right here walking past my light. Yeah, they're going to struggle to score, and while Michigan might have a tougher time scoring and they're not going to score 50, they're not, overall they're just not going to they're not going to struggle to score like Iowa will, and I think that's really where the difference in the game comes in. They just don't have it like that. They don't have the quarterback necessary. They don't have even the offense necessary, and yeah, who knows? Maybe it's Caden McNamara's next team, and they just throw them on the field, and then it's a more interesting game. But for now, I don't see a way that Iowa pulls it off.
No, and I agree with you. It would have to come down to turnovers. Iowa forced 3 of them against Rutgers to help them score 27 points. They've had 7 turnovers in their last 3 games. And yeah, one of them would have to be a pick 6 or a scoop and score for the Iowa defense to give Iowa a real chance. Because if you're relying on your offense to get it done for you alone, even with your defense getting turnovers, it's not going to be enough. Your defense has to score a touchdown for you to take some pressure off the Iowa offense because they're just not that good. And Michigan plays a clean game. That's what they've done so far. They have 2 turnovers on the season, an interception versus Hawaii, that was not JJ, and a fumble versus Maryland. So with Iowa's offense being so horrible, Michigan's defense being good enough, it just, again, like we're kind of beating a dead horse here, but it just seems like everything is coming up roses for the Wolverines in this one, thinking, a 23-10, a 27-10, something like, well, maybe not 27, but it might be. But something like that, it just kind of feels like that's where this is leaning. And the Wolverines, again, it's not going to be easy, like you said. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I think it's going to be a comfortable enough victory for the Wolverines.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Michigan will come out of this game 5-0, and then potentially being, depending on what else happens, in the top 4.
All right. Well, let's put our money where our mouth is on this one. So the spread is 10.5. You taking or laying?
Ooh, I'll lay the points.
Okay.
10.5.
Yeah, I think Michigan's going to cover it though as well. All right, 42.5.
42.5. I will take the under.
Yeah. Same. Very much same in this one. All right, more over-unders for the players. Only a couple here. JJ, 265 total yards.
Under.
All right, I'm going to go over. I think he'll do a little more with his legs in this one when he has to. 1.5 touchdowns for JJ.
Over.
All right, Corum, 90 yards.
Under.
All right, I'm going to go over and half a touchdown.
Under.
All right, I'm going to go over just for just to be different. We're going to be battling on this one.
Hey, Ryan Griffin here. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Griffin and Bass. Be sure to give us your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to click the bell to receive the latest notifications from DSN and subscribe for breaking news, community blogs, polls, contests, and other content.